What is up, guys? Another Friday, another free preset. Today's preset is going to be, as the title says up here, old style dubstep wobble. Couldn't really think of an example, but it just reminds me of something someone would use in an older song. And it also uses the same techniques as kind of like the knife party style sound we went over. So it's a mixture of a lot of things. This is what it sounds like. I'm going to show you how I made that. Okay, so this is what I started with. It was just the one oscillator, and it sounded like... It kind of has the tone there, but not really so. What I did after that, I turned on oscillator B, which is just a layer to go with it. Because a lot of like the older style sounds, that they're like, they still had like a lead element in the wobble, which I thought were really cool. So I tried to implement that into this by doing that extra oscillator like that. LFO, I just did one bar, and then I drew this out. You could draw out whatever you want, and you guys will have this pad so you can save this and all that cool stuff. So, and I make sure it's on trig, so every time it goes through it starts over. After that, I obviously put it on the sync window right here, which is window full, and I cranked that up to my likings. Same with the level. You could have it up, you could have it down. This is just what to me it sounded good in the mix. And the mix was to this drum loop I was working against, which honestly has no relevance to this, so like I said, to your preference. I did the level on oscillator B2 because I didn't want it to be like very apparent, and I didn't want it to just be solid. I wanted it to move with it, so that's how I did that. Now I turned the filter on because I wanted to get more out of the sound, because this is what it sounds like right now. This is what it sounds like with the filter. Just gives it more of, it has like a laser texture to it because of the resonance right here, so it just really like wraps up the sound, not so free, and then it adds that like laserish texture to it. So next is the noise, and let me turn these off so you can hear what the noise sounds like. Again, just to fill it out and add more like white noise slash distortion type thing layered to the sound, just to really fill it out and get it gritty. So everything is on right now. So it's starting to come together. The direct out on the sub just has a little wobble following the level, so not much to it. Now the effects is where it starts getting more detailed. I literally try to go as weird as possible on here just for learning purposes. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I normally would never do. The first one is hyper dimension, and the mix on the hyper is off, and the dimension, a little bit of mix and a little bit of size on the moving, so I wanted it to get bigger as the LFO was playing. So now that's what it sounds like. Without it. So it's just more of a stereo field thing. It adds, and lets it like breathe a little more. So the distortion is just the tube, that's the first one. Drive, mix. Really gives it that aggressiveness in your face, just gritty, just raw. And I liked it. Just reminded me of that old style. Next I used was the flanger, and normally I don't ever use these on bass sounds, so this is what it sounds like with the flanger. it just adds the slightest texture to it. Again, without it. And I'll crank this up so you can really hear. So yeah, that's the flanger. After that, I did the phaser because that's another weird thing I should never be doing. And what this is doing is, so they're all kind of like adding like this robotic laserish type of frequencies to the sound, but when using them at little mounts and the same rates, which is like I think 16 bars, it really gives it a very light feel, so you could use them together. And then I just had the frequency moving just to give it a little more character. After that, I was like, you know what, I'm already using two of the things I don't normally use, and certainly I don't use them together. Let's just throw a chorus on there and see what we can do. So it just kind of softens the sound up a little bit. Now the compressor, just I have it on the parallel, so 50, and I think I just messed with the threshold. I didn't change anything else. Maybe just a little bit of gain. Just taming it a little bit, but not too much where you can really tell. This is just reverb, what I normally do, just the reverb or the LFO on the reverb mix, just to give it a little space. And last but not least was the EQ, which is just this little notch, and it's just moving it. And now, before it was like the sound was playing, now the sound is moving it while it's playing. So I really like what this did to it. It really just nailed that preset. Because before, yeah, like it's cool, it's playing, and then now the sound, the frequencies are actually moving with the LFO, and it just really brings that preset all together. And that's this preset. There's really not much. All this table was a square with a sync window, just like the other sound. I think it was this knife party styled preset we did 2 weeks ago. So check that out, and if you want this preset as well as that preset and all the other presets plus other free stuff, click that link. Tell us where to send all this free stuff, this preset and all the other ones. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We do this weekly. And smash that like button. Just click it. And if you already clicked it, just click it one more time. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.